fitness guy eating orange chicken, huh? Yeah, I need a break. Some people, you might even be the first person or the only person in their life that believes in them. He was obese, right? Big guy, also like tall. What it is that makes somebody healthy or makes somebody not healthy?
Like, how do people look so pretty in the gym?
What gets me up in the morning is just being with everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wisdom Without Borders, where I speak to people that inspire me, even when they are not really trying. So today, I have an extra special guest with me. His name is Jeff. And Jeff and I, we go way back. I met Jeff when I was in my early 20s, and I'm in my 40s now. So, but the things that he told me still ring in my head. And that is, sometimes it drives me nuts, but I'm sure everybody who knows Jeff would agree with me. So if you're one of them, comment in the comment section below and let me know what does Jeff tell you that still sticks in your head. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Jeff and Andora, my very, very good friend. I hope today's conversation is going to inspire you just like it did for me for so many years. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah,
I
please,
appreciate that.
please tell everyone who you are, where you're from, where are you now, what do you do?
Gosh, okay, who I am, right? That's a never ending journey. Like it's hard to say who I am. Where I'm from, that's a little easier. I'll start with that. I'm from California in the States originally. It's where I grew up, a place called Pleasanton, California. Very much how you would think of a place called Pleasanton. I mean, it really was at a suburb of San Francisco. For the last 20, almost 21 years, I've been in Bangkok, Thailand, as a personal trainer, owner of Flash Fitness here. Uh, yeah, I've spent a little bit of time in Arizona as well. So I was in Arizona for about 6 years, long time ago, ages ago. But yeah, that's pretty much who I am. Or not who
Yes.
I am, but at least that's where I am. Like who I am, I find like labeling that has never been possible because that changes every couple of years. If you ask Jeff at 53 years old, yeah, 53 years old. You ask Jeff at 53 years old who he is, it's going to be a completely different feel than Jeff, say, like when I met you, even when I was in my, mid 30s at the time when I met you. So
Yeah.
very different people. So,
I think it's unbelievable. And I completely agree with you. And that is the reason why I wanted to speak to you. Because as much as we were disconnected in some years, ever
yeah.
since, but at the same time, the things that you told me about what you wanted to do came true. And and the fascinating thing is when I met you, you were a teacher. But
Yeah.
before you were a teacher, you were a fitness business owner. You owned a gym.
Yes.
And then you went and become a teacher. You were great at it. I remember like how students really loved you. And and then you decided to be a business owner again. And you started
Yeah.
completely, I mean, not completely from scratch because you're experienced, but in a foreign country with a foreign language. So that's why your story is really captivating and it's inspiring in a way that you make it happen. So I want to know, like, so right, go back to where it begins, right? So from
Right.
California, what made you make the decision, like 20 or 30 years ago, to go
Yeah.
to Thailand?
I know it. Well, there's a backstory, right? There is, I think anybody who owns a business kind of knows it can take over your life, right? And my business, it was called Fitness Path. This was in Tracy, California, kind of near where I grew up, not where I was living at the time, but uh, I was a new business owner. I was part of the Downtown Business Association. My business was located on Main Street, middle of town, right? I was kind of known in town as the fitness person, right? Owner of the fitness path. And especially in those days, fitness, there weren't a lot of personal training studios around. There weren't boutique studios. I was really, at the time, I would say I was one of the first people to ever open up something like that. They didn't exist. Everything was like big chain gyms, right? So I think just being something new and with, getting people results. And I wrote for the newspaper at the time. I had ads out. So like I was, you know, kind of connected within the community. So I got really, really busy. My first client every day was 5 a.m. My last client every day was 8:30 p.m. And I was full all day long, right? With the exception of a lunch break. Now, as a new business owner, you don't know how to manage that, right? You just think like, oh, yeah, business. All right, yeah, come on over. I'll train you. Yeah, okay, come on. And you're not, and you're still young. You're still, you had that energy. So, I was doing it, but that's not sustainable. And I didn't know that at the time. So really after me and my business, I guess I had that for 5 or 6 years. I've been working for different gyms before that, but I've been a trainer for 9 years, right? And you just hit the point where really it came down to just burning out. Like everybody in town knew I was the fitness guy, and you start to like fill your head with this is who I am, this is who I am. And the more you create this persona of who you are, it ends up limiting you without you ever really knowing that's what it's doing. Right. So I had, at the time,
Wow.
there was a book that I read, and it was Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. And, I think at the time I was already kind of, if I wasn't this, if I took myself and I'm not the fitness guy, and I shake off my friends, I shake off my fitness, I shake off like all these things that have stuck to me over the years that have made me who I am. Earlier, you said, like, who are you? You can see why I don't stick to that. I struggle with that. So I thought, well, if I take myself out of my environment, out of my culture, out of my job, out of everything that I think I am, and I supplant myself somewhere completely new, a new culture, a new job. I'm no longer Fitness Jeff, but now I'm Mr. Jeff, the English teacher at a government school in Thailand. Once you plant that new seed, what is the Jeff that comes out from that? And so really, I didn't know I'd be out in Thailand for 21 years. It was really just a little self-experiment of what else could grow out of this, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that even makes sense.
Completely. Oh my God. What you have just said, I was having goosebumps like the whole time. Because because the thing is, you were at the top of your career. You were the talk of town. You were enjoying success. And I think that's every entrepreneur's dream. And you have a wait list going. You were at the top of your game, and that's when shit hits the fan and you get burned out.
Yes.
And that's when the universe slap you in the face, like how I fell in my face it's ago. And it's like, wake up. But what you did is like completely unexpected, because that is the complete opposite of what I think the majority of people who go through burnout would do. I mean, yeah, you might want to give up everything, but I don't think it's something that easy. Walk me through the process.
But, I mean, you're right. But I think when you achieve success, your definition of it changes. I didn't view myself as successful because I didn't have any time. I wasn't able to, I really wasn't even able to go out. This is going to sound ridiculous, but one of the final straws. I was at Panda Express, and I'm sitting there eating my orange chicken, and I've got my Diet Pepsi, clearly not healthy food for you, right? I'm on my lunch break. I'm by myself. I'm sitting in the front corner of the place. Two people walk in. I have no idea who these people are. They stop at my table. They look down. They go, "Oh, fitness guy eating orange chicken, huh?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, I need a break." So it was like I remember that day so well because right next to it was the haircut place. This is back when I had hair, right? And I went next door and I got my haircut. And she was actually Thai. And I've been thinking a lot about Thailand already. And the lady cutting my hair was Thai. And I told her, like, I'd love to go back to Thailand and, maybe live there for a little bit. And so we kind of got into a conversation about it. And uh, she was such a positive, smiley, like, yeah, you should do this kind of thing person. And it almost at the time just felt like, yeah, the universe is pushing me that way. I
And you
think
trust it.
uh, yeah, to be honest, I trusted it because I always knew if I came back to Tracy, California, I could open up a business and have it packed again within a week if I wanted to, right? So I would be lying if it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go. I always felt like I had a cushion, right? I didn't feel like I was just throwing everything away because I knew it was still there. I knew I could come back and I had roots in the community to where I could open it right back up.
Yes, I think that's a really good point. I think everybody should remember that home will always be there because that is also a reminder to myself that actually, if I don't make it, I can always come home. And
Yes.
yeah, it's a little embarrassing, and I have to admit that I failed outside, but nobody actually know what happened. But home will always be here. So I think that gives people the courage. It should give people the courage to go out there and try. But I have a question in a sense that because not only you moved countries, you started in Thailand with something completely new. What made you believe or think that you could be an English teacher, even though English is your native language, but it's a
You
new
know
career?
what? I didn't know, right? That was part of the scary fear that I hadn't experienced in a while, So it was like I like that. I was out of my comfort zone. It was, I remember taking these certification courses on learning how to teach. We would have these practice sessions and you go out. And this is the first time in a long time I felt so nervous. I thought I was going to throw up beforehand, and it was like, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but I miss that. I think like sports gave me that. And it was always, when you go, baseball especially, right? When you go up and you're facing somebody you don't know and everybody's eyes are on you and you get this feeling in your stomach, which is you're so nervous, you think you're going to throw up. At the same time, you get enough adrenaline to where it's like, ah, I like
Yeah.
this. I like this. Like, what's going to happen? So I didn't know I was going to be a good teacher. Uh, I just did my best, and apparently that was good enough for the school. It was good enough for my boss. It was good enough for the student. I'm still in touch with a lot of the students. This is 20 years ago, and I still get wonderful messages from them from this to this day. I train a couple of them here at my gym, even. So
Yeah, and I think that's a major understatement when you say it was good enough. So after 20 years, you saw your students grow up and you turn them into your clients from students in the classroom. That
right, it's
says
weird.
a
Yeah,
lot about you.
yeah, yeah.
So I think you are a great teacher. You're a great coach, a mentor, an
Thank
instructor
you.
friend. You are, yeah, you're not giving yourself enough credits. And I know for a certainty that every single person that knows you will agree with me. For sure. 100%,
I
no
don't know
matter
about
where
every
they
single
are.
person, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I want to know though, like, you know, because you can learn everything that you want to learn. But what we don't know, especially when it comes to a new career, a new environment, we can never really predict what's going to happen. what would you tell people who are actually at crossroads at the moment? They don't know what to do. They are burning out, or maybe their career is not working. What would you say to them?
What's the worst thing that can happen? Right? If you're in a position now that you're not happy, if you're in a position now that's making you uncomfortable with life, well, that's making you unhappy, period. Going into something that scares you, going into something that you're not sure about, what's the worst thing that can happen if this is where you're coming from? You see what I'm saying? So you really don't have anything to lose. And whether you, as you said, I don't like the word you said earlier about like yourself, you said fail. I don't look at it as fail. If you go out and you try to do something and it doesn't work out, during that it doesn't work out, there's likely to be other doors that might open up. There's going to be lessons that you've learned. You're going to become more wise than you were when you did that. So when you go back home, you're not going back home a failure. You're going back home with something a little more than you had when you went out. Now, what that's going to lead into will be completely up to you, but that will lead into something. And you have to trust that process, that it's all a building process and not necessarily a failing process.
Yes, I agree, because I never see anything as failing. And I
Okay.
think this process is so rejuvenating and addicting in a sense that is so healthy that you continue to step out of your comfort zone. You begin to enjoy those challenges because you know the moment you step, no matter in which direction, you are making progress. And the more progress you make, the more information you are going to collect and the better you're going to become. So that's why I get very excited every time I go into the unknown, or every time somebody tells me that I'm wrong. Great, which means my
Yes.
world will expand.
Yes. 100%. 100%. So if you truly see life as a journey, right, there is no fail here.
Yeah. But I like what you said, though. I want to kind of dig in you trying your best. You were just doing your best. And that made you a great teacher that you have friends all over the world, you have clients all over the world. What does that mean? Because I do believe that trying our best is way more than good enough. And I think that is something that people
Yes.
need to believe.
Yeah. Well, at least it's the first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to try your best in a smart way as well, right?
Mm.
Now, try your best at learning what it is you need to learn. And then you have to try your best in learning what it is that you needed to learn. Then you need to try your best to self-reflect and think, okay, what do I need to improve upon? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And then you need to do your best at not just always hanging out at your strengths, but spending time on those weaknesses. If I don't fix my swing, but I go up there and I try my best over and over and over again, I'm not going to get very far, right? The try your best process is not just hustle. The try
Mm-hmm.
your best process has to be more methodical. You have to kind of like figure out what is going to make me in a position where I can do my best, not just try my best, right?
Right. So just to make it more specific, right? Just to throw you a challenge.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when you first got to Thailand as a teacher, obviously the students don't speak English and there is a
Yeah.
language barrier because you don't speak Thai then. You speak Thai
Yeah.
now. I know that.
Well,
But what did you do in terms of trying your best?
if people genuinely see you are trying to help them, right, then teaching like fitness training it's an interaction, it's relationship. So just trying your best doesn't do a whole lot of good if you're not getting the reciprocal from it. So if kids are smart, right? If kids, especially, I mean, they're teenagers, if they see you are legitimately doing everything you can, that you care and that you're trying to help them, they're going to give that back to you. So without even knowing how to speak Thai in those days, when they see that you're trying hard to teach them this information, to teach them how to speak, when they see that you're legitimately trying to help them, whatever you're missing, they're filling in that gap, right? And then that's really what makes it work. And it's the same way with fitness training. It's when people see that you are legitimately concerned and legitimately wanting to help, they will help you help them. And life gets a lot easier when you're doing that.
Ooh, that's like a lot right there. They will help you help them. It's perfect. It's true. I think when another person can feel your authenticity and you genuinely care, they open up. And I think that's what I love about my job too. But I know there is this, you care in a way that is very different, because a lot of people say they are trying to help, but they don't know how to help. So I came from that place where I was trying to help and I try to tell people what to do because I think I know better.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people, they have a good heart, they have good intentions, but they don't necessarily know how to help. And I think what I get from you is that you help me help myself. I think that's what I got from you. And I believe that's what everybody gets from you as well. We become self-motivated because it's almost like you're holding us accountable. Like if I don't do my workout, Jeff is going to very nicely and kindly scold me. And I'm going to feel guilty, not because you made me feel guilty, but because I know there's someone cheering for me, but I didn't make it.
No, but you're right.
How do you help people? Like, how do you learn how to help? Or how do you know how to help?
It's some people, all they need is for somebody else. For some people, you might even be the first person or the only person in their life that believes in them. So if they don't believe in themselves, oh man, I've tried to lose weight 1,000,000 times. I can never do it. I'm such a loser. Gosh, I can't do diets. I can't do exercise. And they have that mindset. And then their friends have seen it many times and they're saying, oh, Cheryl, like, oh, yeah, you always say this. I'll believe it when I see it. And that belief in themselves go down and down and down, right? Now, part of it is I've helped so many people in that situation that I truly do believe in them. So I can come to them and I can say, no, look, Cheryl, you're going to do this. I know you can do this. I believe in you. And this is something they don't get. They don't get it from the people around them. They don't get it in themselves. But when they sense it, like, oh, you're serious. This person believes I can do it. And then they're going through their everyday life and they have this chance to kind of go this way or this way. They don't want to let you down. If they know you truly care and that you are yourself invested in them, now it's not just something where I let myself down. That's bad enough. But now they're letting the person who believes in them, the person who's invested in them, they don't want to let you down. And for a lot of people, especially people who maybe battle with a little bit of self-esteem stuff, right? It's more important to them to please others. Well, now you are that other that they don't want to let down. And then when they start helping themselves because they don't want to let you down, well, now you're getting the double whammy of they're also not letting themselves down. And then that's what allows growth on a personal level for them. It might have started like, I don't want to let this person down, but then it'll grow into something that's like, gosh, I actually accomplished something I didn't know I can accomplish. And then with that thought, like, gosh, what else can I accomplish that I didn't know I can accomplish? And then that's where it grows. Now they're handling relationships better. They're handling work better. They're handling their health better. It's it all starts with just the smallest thing, and it could just be one habit. I want you to change your breakfast. Oh gosh, I can do this. Wow, this is working for me. Hey, great. Now I want you to do this. Wow, that's really working for me. Like this is, and it all just, it's a cascade effect that just grows. I don't know
Yes,
if that answered the question, but it's
of course it does.
okay. All
Stop
right.
doubting yourself.
Okay.
this, this fitness instructor is a little uncomfortable on camera.
Okay. It is true. It is true.
I
You
am
know.
so glad that I got you on the spot. I don't get to see this of you very often.
Okay. Yeah.
It sounds so simple. It sounds so like too good to be true. And I know from experience that you do this little trick as much as you are doing the magic in the gym. Those words, those affirmations, those belief and confidence that you give to us is it sticks with us. You know, it's like this mantra that is like ringing in your head after 20 years, it's still ringing. Share with everybody that is watching, like some of these crazy, unbelievable, inspiring stories that your clients have had. You know, who were they before? Like, what were they like? And who
Gosh.
are they? Yeah, I know too many.
Yeah.
You know, pick and
There's so
choose
many.
whichever that is that comes to
Yeah.
mind.
Like going like with what we just talked about, there was one. I don't want to say him because you met him way back in the day at the Ekamai gym.
Mhm.
Uh, and I don't really know if I want to say his name or anything like that, but when he first came, he was obese, right? Big guy, also like tall.
Yeah.
Uh,
How tall? How big?
and yeah, 6'8". I mean, 6'8", like big, like well over 300 pounds.
Ooh.
Uh, he had been going through like a really bad breakup. He'd been released from the U.S. Army. In his mind, there couldn't be more things going wrong in his life, right? Like he was at that point in his life, and he was one of those people that didn't, he signed up, but not sure that this is going to work, that this is going to happen, and I think that's just the way he saw things. Well, he loses 10 pounds. He loses 20 pounds. He loses 40 pounds. He loses 60 pounds. He's starting to feel better about himself. Instead of like kind of always being hunched over from being so tall, now he's kind of carrying himself a little bit differently, a little bit taller. He's walking a little bit differently. He meets this wonderful, wonderful Japanese woman, gets married. Like now he's thinking like, okay, now he's got like this woman that he absolutely loves. They have 2 kids. He goes and gets a PhD. So now he's a doctor. And so
How
this
much does he
is,
weigh now?
as far as like what he weighs, I'm not sure, but he's a fit, strong human being. Like yeah, he looks amazing. Let's just put it that he looks fit. He looks amazing. He got really strong. This is how much his mindset changed. We had a big old wrench in his program because he had gotten so strong. He got drunk one time, and I think it was Pattaya, one of the beach places, right? And they were having arm wrestling competitions. Well, he was just going through. He was winning and winning. And then they went from this bar and they took it to this bar, and then they take the champion to that bar, and and he broke his arm, and he ended up not being able to train upper body for like weeks.
Arm wrestling?
But when we first met him, he would have never thought to do something like that, right? He was not like an athlete, but that's just how much the mindset will change. That at that point, now he doesn't see himself the way he sees himself prior. Now he sees, gosh, I can do this, I can do that, there's a confidence that goes to doing something like that, right? That you need.
Yes.
And so, I just
priceless. He came to your gym and he kind of want to try, but he doesn't believe in himself. In the back of his mind, he's probably thinking about how to give up already. So,
yes,
as he's speaking
true.
to you.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. So what did you do in that first period, maybe like the first month, to help him believe or at least come to allow you to help him?
Small wins. Small wins. You have to keep them right here. I know, like, especially people who've been coming to my gym a long time. It might sound like, hey, you compliment everybody, like, so, and it's true, but like a compliment over it. And it's not just to be nice, right? It's to build the confidence, because you give them just this much. And that all, again, you don't know what people are dealing with in their daily lives. They might not hear compliments. That one compliment, if it raises them from here to here, that's already going to feel good. And if it raises the confidence to here, they're going to work a little bit better. Oh, yeah. Remember last week, you couldn't get your knee all the way down on that lunge. Look at you now. And then they're thinking like, that's right. That's right. I did do that. Wow. Okay. This is working for me. Small win. Did you change your breakfast this morning? I know I didn't ask you to do a whole lot, maybe just one habit. Did you eat the breakfast I told you to eat this morning? Yeah, I did. All right. Wait, see, you can do this. Good job. They're not looking at it like it was a big deal. Now they're like, oh, all right. Yes, I can do this. And every small win compounds, right? And then those wins start, it's synergistic. So you get the small win, the small win, the small win. Now the small wins start becoming a little bigger wins, a little bigger wins, a little bigger wins. What's that whole quote about a journey starts with one small step? It's
Yes. And I learned that from you because you helped me spot those little things to give myself credit. Whenever I least expect it, I'm like, Jeff gave me that credit. Yeah, maybe I can take that as a compliment to something to celebrate. You're very creative at noticing the small wins, no matter how small they are. And it's one of those things, especially because for the people who don't know you, Jeff's workout are very challenging, very hard. It makes you swear, it makes you sweat, but it makes you feel very good after that. And that's why you would go back again and again. Right? So it's one of those things where, like, he makes you believe that just one more repetition is going to make your day all better. What is that line that you always say? And you have it on your wall in the gym, right? So like, do until you can't, something like that.
Yeah. Go till you can't, rest till you can. You go till you can't, and then you rest until you feel you can go again. That's how you keep stuff sustainable, whether it's fitness, whether it's life. Sometimes you need to step back, take some big deep breaths. All right, I'm ready. And then you go. And so go till you can't, rest till you can. It's a philosophy in and of itself.
Yeah, totally. Whenever I'm like huffing and puffing and it's just like, oh, I'm going to die. Then I keep going. You just need a rest. No, I don't want to do this anymore. No, you can. Just take another breath. You can do this. Take your time. And it's like your voice keep ringing. I'm like, God damn. Yeah. Where did you learn how to talk like that?
Some of it is 30 years of dealing with different people of different cultures, of different backgrounds. It just, some of it actually came from teaching, right? And a lot of it came from team sports. When you have a group of 25 guys, this person here, you can say, let's say he makes a mistake. This person here, you can say, hey, keep your head up. No, it'll be all right. Another one's coming your way. Don't worry about it. And that's what's going to get the most out of him. This person over here, you might need to kind of get under him a little bit. You're like, hey, come on. Where are you right now? You need to concentrate a little bit more. Pick it up. Come on. And you might have to get on that person a little bit more. This person over here might require more positive feedback. This person might need to light a fire under his butt a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think team sports also taught me that, like, you don't treat everybody the same. Like, different people require different and respond differently to different things. So I think that was a natural thing to use going into personal training, going into group training, going into teaching. You get a feel for certain people, like, all right, I think this person right here, I can get on a little bit more. Like, here in Thailand, we'll say, yeah, ooh, nah, like, like, Don't be lazy. Pick it up, you know. So it's like I can tell you're being lackadaisical. Get on it, you know. So and some people are like, "You doing okay? You all right?" You know.
What you do is really beautiful in the sense that because you are able to notice the smallest detail, just so that you can give yourself a little word of encouragement. And I think that's something that spreads very quickly, because when you speak to your clients and they have a great day, they are going to spread the positivity. They are going to start recognizing little things in everybody, and it's going to be such a better world. I think that's so important in today's time, especially.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, as a fitness professional, at the current state of a lot of people, where should they start?
Okay. Small steps again, right? Like small steps. So don't try to revamp everything all at once. Not like, okay, from now on, I'm going to eat broccoli and chicken for breakfast, and I'm gonna like don't go there to begin with. My nutrition that I'm doing every day, what's one thing I can fix? Start with that. Make it as easy. It might just be I'm gonna take fish oil every day. That's enough to get started. Just you're already this much healthier than you were yesterday if you start taking fish oil every day. Okay. When it comes to exercise, there's a rabbit
That's
behind
my
me.
rabbit.
Hi, rabbit. All of a sudden, I saw this thing come up, and I'm like, what the? The most motivating the thing that you can do in fitness is to actually see results. Nature itself doesn't care what you love, right? So a better thing than just let me exercise is know what it is that makes somebody healthy or makes somebody not healthy, right? So you want to choose the exercise that do you want better cardiovascular health? Do you want to get leaner? Well, that's going to take better, you know, when you eat food, you can store it as fat, you can store it as muscle. Like not every exercise is going to partition your food to get stored inside of muscle tissue and not inside of fat cells. As we get older, we need to maintain our fast twitch muscle fiber. We need stronger bones. We need greater mobility. Now, not all exercises check all these boxes. So when you just choose something, so okay, I'm doing, let's say we choose yoga. Now that's going to help with our cortisol levels. That's going to help with flexibility, but we're leaving all this over here. We're not creating any kind of mechanical tension where we're keeping our muscle tissue as we get older. We're not keeping our fast twitch muscle fibers, which is highly correlated with longevity and preventing falls and bone health. We're not improving our insulin sensitivity and preventing diseases. We're not. So it's like, gosh, I've been doing yoga for a year, but I still can't fit into my clothes. I've been doing yoga for years, but I still huff and puff when I go up the stairs. I've been doing yoga for years, but. So it's not just, oh, I need to exercise. And that would be the first thing I would try to tell people. Know exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish. What does being healthy mean to you? If it's longevity, is it I want to look better? Is it aesthetic reasons? Is it I want my family all has diabetes? I need to make sure I don't get diabetes. And what does health mean to you? And then we can start answering questions to get us to that next point. But we need to get as a whole out of the mindset of you just need to exercise, or just as bad, you need to exercise 30 minutes a day. Like your body doesn't care about 30 minutes. Your body cares about stimulus, and the stimulus provides an adaptation, and the adaptation provides you the results. So we're working backwards. What do you want to see for the results? What are the adaptations that we need? What are the stimulus that gets us there? And then how do we exercise to get there?
And I think that part is very important, because that directly affects whether or not we're going to stick through our plans.
Right.
Because if I want to be beautiful for other people, when other people aren't looking, I'm not going to go to the gym. So that's going to be a problem. But if I want to be healthy because I want to feel good, I want to be able to walk and travel and have the freedom that I desire, then I am going to go to the gym because I want to be healthy to do all of these other things.
Right.
Like when I go to group classes, especially, I
Yeah.
come back with injuries because of peer pressure, because everybody is performing very well. And then I try to push myself. It's like, oh, and then I came back not very smart.
Yeah. The fitness industry is not good at selling smart train. When I say smart, I'm talking about like understanding the physiology in order to achieve the stimulus and objectives of what health truly is, right? But they're very good at selling identity, right? So
Mm.
it's like, okay, you want to do high rocks? Wear our costume. You dress like this, you do this, and you hang out with these crowds and you post it all over your internet. If you're going to, oh, you're going to do Pilates, you need to wear this $200 Lululemon with a matcha and a hat pulled down low. And,
You
you
look the
know,
part.
right? It's, you have to look the part, act the part. Health is physiological, metabolic, and health has to do with nature, right? Fitness isn't about nature. It's about identity. It's about brands. It's about you're selling a
Oh.
lifestyle. You're not
Mm.
selling this. And that's a big, big disconnect when it comes to actually getting people healthy. And this is one of the hardest parts for me. This is why I'm kind of a hermit in the industry, right?
I think people are waking up to the idea that these things don't work because they've paid the money, they have invested the time and effort into going to the gym, but they still aren't getting results. And I love what you said, because one thing that came to mind is that healthy people don't look great in the gym. Remember, I had this conversation with you where I asked, like, how do people look so pretty in the gym? Like, I don't get it. Why can't, like, the makeup just stays on there? They don't sweat. I look like a piece of shit in the gym.
Well, some people just
Because, like,
have it,
you
right?
have sweat like just dripping all over the place, and I will not wear makeup to the gym because it's gonna mess up everything, right? But I look better. I look a lot better outside of the gym. But a lot of people look the part, but they aren't actually healthy. How many times do you still work out now in a week?
Right now, 5 times a week. I mean, it had been six forever and ever and ever, right? So
Is that why you have abs in your 50s?
yeah, it's still 5 times a week, I would say, on on average. Sometimes I'll even get to the park and run some sprints. You can see I'm actually a little bit sunburned right now from some sprints yesterday, but
Mhm.
uh,
What do you look forward to now?
when I get up in the morning, like we have so many clients here that have been here for more than 10 years and so many that are over 5 years. It's, yeah, they're my clients, they're the members, but like it's such a community and I look forward to just, I mean, anybody who's ever seen me train, it's, yeah, maybe when it comes to writing programs and doing, I'm very serious, I'm very methodical, I'm very scientific with that kind of stuff. But you wouldn't know it when I'm in the class. I'm just goofing around with everybody. I'm silly. I have a good time. I make fun of people and, they make fun of me back. And so what gets me up in the morning is honestly, as cheesy and maybe cliche as it sounds,
Bring
it's
it.
really just being with everybody and just coming in here and being around all the people that I enjoy to be around. Right. So that's what gets me up in the morning. It's, yeah, just enjoy what I do. There's that famous quote that it's, choose a job that just always feels that you don't need a vacation from. Right. And that's kind of what this feels like. I mean, I'm living in Thailand. I have a gym. I have all these like wonderful people around me every day. I've got, I get up in the morning because I just genuinely enjoy where I am and what I'm doing.
I love that. I love that. And this is another thing that I've learned from you. we were having so much fun when we were working together. And that is, work is play, life is play. And I am now a vacation therapist that's always on vacation. So where I got that from. But I love it, though.
I think have some kind of impact.
Oh, for sure. I think that is so valuable. You have people that you look forward to seeing every day, and vice versa. That community that you've built is so special. So, any last words for the viewers before I let you go?
Not every part of life is going to be easy. There's going to be some parts that are absolutely just, it'll feel like it's just bringing you down. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I can keep doing this. What should I do? I'm like, should I quit? Should I, am I failing? Am I this? Am I that? Stick with it, but stick with it with a positive attitude. Again, it sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, I honestly believe you can have two people going through the exact same thing in life. This person right here goes through it with a positive attitude and rolls with the punches, even with a sense of humor. And this person right here lets it drag them down, and then they start dragging other people down around them. Despite two people going through the same thing, the one with that positive mental attitude not only is going to get through it better and move on to something better, but they will still enjoy the journey while they're doing it, even when things weren't going their way, right? So the only thing you're going to have complete control over in life is going to be your attitude towards whatever it is that's happening to you, good or bad. And you control what you can control. And the only thing, there's always going to be good things that happen. There's going to be bad things that happen. But the one thing you will always have control over is your mental attitude towards those things. So you can either choose a positive, even humorous attitude towards something, which not only will help you get through it easier, but when you look back on it, or when you look back over your life at those harder times, they won't seem as difficult as maybe it felt at the time, compared to somebody who's looking back on life and they always had like that negative mental attitude that spreads into other areas of their life as well, and to the areas of life of the people around you. When we were training people, like, I want that time period with them to be the best part of their day. If you're focusing on having such an energy that you're making, again, they could be dealing with work, they could be dealing with family, they could be dealing, who knows what. People deal with all kinds of stuff that we never know about. But if they come in and you give it every ounce of effort to make that the best 30 minutes or the best hour of their day, and they leave feeling better, you've made an impact. So, in that, making an impact is what's going to give you a fulfilling life, right? So break it down into these steps. So make people feel better about themselves, make their days better. You're going to make an impact, and that impact makes a more fulfilling life. And it really kind of gets boiled down to that.
Wow. So much goodies. I think that is your secret for looking so young in your 50s.
Earlier, I came back into the room, then they all kind of laughed. What? And they said, well, May just said that you look really good for your age. And I was like, so now I'm like, starting to feel pretty good about this 2 times in one day.
Of course. I think happy people are young people, and I think people if you're in your 50s, for whoever that is watching, if you're in your 40s, in your 50s, I have people in their 20s that tell me that they feel old. Laughter is definitely the medicine. Exercise, get healthy, don't take life so seriously. So I think you are an inspiration for everybody, not, of all ages. So for people,
I appreciate that, Anna. I appreciate it. Thank you.
For people who want to connect with you, how can they find you? Where do they find you?
Well, for our gym website, it would be flashfitnessresults.com. And of course, you can contact through there. Other than that, I'm kind of everywhere. You just kind of Google my name, you'll be able to find me like even through there, you know. So uh
Okay. So I will
yes.
put all the information in the description for everybody to look for you. I mean, I can't promise anything because Jeff is very busy. So he might put you on a wait list, but you are always welcome to
I
enjoy the
appreciate it.
motivating videos that he shows,
Yeah.
right? So it's always a treat looking at your social media pages. It's very energizing. So
Well,
it's
that's good to hear because I don't do much. That's other people posting all that stuff, right? Like I just share like what other people post. Like I realize I'm so bad at social media.
no
I got to get
worries.
better at
You
it.
do you, and then let everybody else promote you for you. Right?
Okay,
So
that's how.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you,
being
Anna.
here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
It is such an honor and pleasure to have this conversation with you. Thank you.
I have coffee on my glasses.
Oh my God.
See, and then you just have to. Yeah, I can see you with my right eye, but in my left eye, all you just look like this coffee blob. I was talking to a coffee blob.